Good evening. Okay, we are 10 minutes late. Sorry, I was struggling with network. I had set up since and network was good. And it was time for me to come on live and network said, no, you are not going to come. I said to network, I will come. I will come. Grace will be waiting for me. Iroluwa will be waiting for me. Domino will be waiting for me. Pearl will be waiting for me. Noah will be waiting for me. Ebu will be waiting for me. So network, I will come. Good evening. How are you all doing? How are you doing? I'm trying to admit I'm trying to admit everybody. Look at their beautiful faces. Look at your beautiful faces. Aww. Beautiful faces. Should I call you Beauty and Brain?
Whoa.
Should I call you Beauty with Brain?
Brain makes someone famous.
Sorry?
Beauty and famous. Beauty and brain.
Beauty with brain. Beautiful girls that have brains too. Brains to match the
Beautiful journal by myself.
I didn't hear you, please.
I made a journal by myself.
A journal. Fantastic. Yes, that was one of the things we said. Yes, this is my journal too. I haven't got a proper journal, so I just got a notebook I am going to be using for my own journaling too, because it's very helpful. So while we wait for others, let's play a quick game.
Very small. Wait, she said something. What should we play?
Let's play a quick game. Now, this game we are playing today is a game that will test our morality. It's a game that will test our morality. Someone is in the waiting room, but I can't find the person. Okay. I'll just admit the person. So let's go. Let's quickly play the game now before others join us. When they join us, they'll see us playing the game. Maybe I should put the great game in the group. Then someone can read it from there. So are you listening to me? Can you hear me? You are going to answer me sincerely. You are going to answer me sincerely, and you are going to tell me why you will do that. Okay?
Okay.
Someone is waiting to join, but I can't.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go. Let's go quickly. Okay. It's school. You are back to school now, right? It's school time. You are back to school. And it's break time.
Why not?
It's school time. Schools are back. The summer holiday is over. So you are back to school. You are back to your classroom. And you are very, very hungry. You know, the kind of hunger that your stomach will be rumbling. You know that kind of hunger, right?
My tummy mostly hurts when I'm very hungry.
Sorry?
Tummy hurts when I'm hungry.
That is what we are talking about. You know, that kind of extreme hunger that makes your stomach to be very hot. You are in that state. And you don't have any money, you don't have any food, you don't have any water, nothing. And you are super, super hungry. And then you are going out, and there's a place in your school where they sell food. You can buy food, you can buy snacks, your favorite snacks, and eat. And as you step out of your classroom to go outside, you find money on the ground. Ooh, money that will be enough for you to buy a bottle of drink, your favorite snacks, water, and you will be so full. And then you turn around, nobody is there watching you. Nobody is looking at you. So you pick the money. Nobody knows that you pick the money. Then you are going straight to the canteen, to the cafeteria to get something to buy. As you are getting close, you find someone says, oh, I'm looking for my money. I misplaced my money. You ask them, where did you misplace the money? They said, when I was going to the classroom. And you remember that it was close to the classroom. You ask them, okay, which money? What was the amount of the money? They tell you. You ask them, what's the denomination? They tell you. So you figure it out that it is actually the money they are looking for. that you picked up. Now you are very, very, very hungry. As if there's a war in your stomach. And now somebody says the money belongs to them. So what are you going to do? And remember, your parents are not coming back anytime soon to pick you. They are not coming back anytime soon to pick you. So maybe, let's say it's 2 p.m. and your parents are coming to pick you, let's say 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. So you have over 2 hours to be hungry, to remain in your state of hunger. You still have over 2 hours. So what are you going to do? Zoe, yes. I have Ire.
What I would do, I would say, oh, I don't have the money. Then I will quickly hide it. I go and what sees that. Then I'll eat. Then at least I have something in my tummy.
Okay.
I would do it. I can say it's their money. I'll give them back and tell them what happened.
Okay.
And they'll appreciate it. Instead, they'll now give me the money to buy.
Okay. Ire and Ore, one of you said you would take the money, another one said you would give the money. Noah, what would you do with the money?
No, I mean, I'll sneakily say, I don't have it. And
you will give the money back to the person. Ire, who Noah says you will give the money back. Ire, were you the one that said you give the money back or Noel?
Yes.
Ire, if you give the money back,
yes,
you are going to be very hungry. And Noel, you would not have any food.
But it's not good to just steal people's stuff.
So what happens to your hunger? What happened to your hunger? Why are you making your face, Ore? No, your tongue back inside. Beautiful girl, you don't do that. So what happens to your hunger?
It gets worse.
It gets worse?
It gets worse.
Okay. So Noah, what happens to your tummy? Remember, you are super hungry. So what happens to you? Oh, you don't. What if you are hungry? In this case now, you are very hungry. You are super hungry in this case.
Man, I would ask if I was a 7 to even get that money to eat.
I didn't hear you. Remember, you don't have water,
I can't stand hunger when I have tummy.
All right, I didn't hear what you said. You said what?
I said I may even be their servant if it's to take that money, because I can't stand hunger because I don't like tummy pain.
Okay, so because you don't have tummy pain, you will take the money. Okay, Ire said she will return the money. Noah said she will return the money. Zoe, what about you? What will you do with the money? Remember, the money is not yours, but remember, nobody saw you, and remember, you are super hungry. So what will you do?
I will return the money and look for another way to quench my hunger.
You return the money and look for another way. What if there are no other ways? You don't have any other option. The only option you have is to say to your parents, come to pick you by 5 p.m.
Then I'll just wait.
You just wait. Fantastic. Dominio, let's hear you. What will you do? Dominio, what will you do? Dominio doesn't want to. You're muted. Unmute yourself, Dominio. Unmute yourself and tell us what you will do.
I will carry some of the money and put in my pocket, and I'm going to give some to the owner of the money so that I'll have something to quench my hunger instead of waiting for my parents.
The money that is not yours, you will share it and give the owner something. Really? Okay. I can see kitchen something. The Lazel Kitchen. What would you do? What's your name, please? Everybody here knows my name. My name is Enimi Orebo. Call me Miss Enimi Orebo. So I know everybody's name. I want to know the yes. Oh, Grace, that's your name. Grace, what would you do? Did you hear the question?
No, ma.
Okay, the question, we said you are on a break in school, you are back to school and you're on the break and you are very, very hungry. It's 2 p.m. Maybe you forgot your lunch at home, you didn't come to school with your lunch, and now you are super hungry and your parents are supposed to come and pick you by 2 p.m. but they are running late. They just called that, oh, they won't be able to come by 2 p.m. They'll be coming by 5 p.m. And you are very hungry. You don't have water. You have run out of water. You don't have snacks. You don't have food to eat. So you are just hungry and there is a rumble in your stomach. You know that big rumbling that happens when you are hungry? You are in that state right now. And then you step out of your classroom and then the next thing you find money on the ground. Money that is enough for you to buy your water, a bottle of drink, snacks, or even a major food, and then you'll be full. Remember, you still have 3 hours to wait for your parents. You look around, nobody is there, nobody is seeing you, nobody knows that you are there to pick the money. So you just pick the money like, oh my God, it's a miracle. I'm hungry and I have money, it's a miracle. And as you walk to the cafeteria to get something, someone just comes to you and says, oh, I'm looking for money. It fell on the way beside the classroom and that was where you pick the money from. And now you are very hungry. You are between giving the person back the money and feeding your hungry stomach. So what are you going to do?
I think I was going to. I think I was going to. The money and ask him if he could help me get something.
Okay, you give him back the money and ask him if he could help you get something.
Like something me with his money.
Okay, you give the money back to him or her, then you ask her if they could give you some part of the money. Is that it?
So, help with the money.
I didn't hear you. You would ask them if they could help you with some of the money.
If they could help me buy something with their money.
Oh, okay, I see. That is actually fantastic. So I like all your responses. Like I said, it's a question that is meant to test your morality. So what you are going to do is, I'll return the money and I will look for another way to eat. Zoe said, is it Zoe? Yes, Zoe said she will return the money. Okay, someone said I will not pick it because I will turn into a yam. Who said that? Have you seen people turn into yams when they pick money or when they pick things? Who said that? Grace, were you the one that said that? You could turn into a tuber of yam. Have you seen that happen? Okay, I've not seen that happen really, but I've read about it, but I've not seen that happen, so I don't have proof that it's true. So someone else said, I will return the money and I will look for another way to eat. Fantastic. So Zoe said she will give, no, Grace said she will give the money back and ask them if they could buy something for him. Okay, the Lazel Kitchen, can you please tell me your name so that I'll call you by your name? Go on, let me hear you. What would you do with the money? Would you give it back or you keep it?
My name is Axel.
Sorry, your name is who, sorry?
And I will Axel.
Axel, please spell the Axel. I didn't get it. Axel. A-X-L. A-X-E-L. Axel. Okay, thank you. So I'll address you by your name.
Yes.
So Axel, what would you do with the money?
I will return it back to the owner and I'll ask my teacher for money, and I'll tell my teacher that when my mom comes, I'll give her back, that my mom will give her back the money.
I absolutely love that. Yes, You return the money back to the person, and then you will look for a way, because you can't stay like that for 3 hours. You can't stay, it will be unbearable for you. So you will return the money back to the owner, and then ask your teacher to help you out. Fantastic. Everybody clap for yourself. Well done. So here is something you are going to do for me. After the class, you are going to ask this same question to your mom or to your dad, okay? You are going to tell them that you are going to ask this question to them and ask them to tell you what they would do in that situation. Tell them they should relate it to your family values. As a family, you have your values, right? They should relate it. They should tell you the answer, and they should relate it to your family values. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you another question before we go into the class.
Yes.
Let me ask you one more question before we go into the class. Now, there's a big boy in your class, or a big girl. They are very big, so they like to bully you all the time. Every time they are bullying you, because they are very big, you try to stand up to them. Every time they come to bully you, you report to your teacher. They seem not to give up. They seem to always like to pick on you all the time. So one day you are going and you meet that this particular bully, he's being bullied. There's another bigger boy that wants to beat this bully. And the bigger boy is someone that is your friend, or the bigger girl is someone that is your friend. And you need to tell them to stop, not to beat up the bully, they will stop. But if you tell them to beat up the bully, they will beat up the bully. If you ignore them, they will beat up the bully very well. So what are you going to do?
What did you say? I don't understand.
Okay, there's a bully in your class. This bully is always picking on you. Do you understand to that extent? The bully is always picking on you. You reported him to teacher, and he keeps always picking on you. So you are really very angry and upset. So you try to avoid him as much as you can. So one day, as you were going, you meet that this bully is about to be beaten by a bigger person, a bigger boy. You meet that this bully is about to be beaten by a bigger boy, and now this bigger person that is about to beat up the bully is your friend. So you can tell the person not to beat up the bully, and the person will actually stop. But if you ignore, the person will beat up the bully. If you tell the person to beat this boy is one that is always looking for my trouble, always bullying me in class, always troubling me in class, beat him up. The bully will beat the person, the bigger person will beat up the bully. So what are you going to do? Will you tell them to beat up the bully? Will you ignore them and let them beat up the bully? Or will you just beg them not to beat up the bully? What would you do?
Instead, I would just leave them alone, because that bully has to pay for what he has done.
I know.
The bully has to feel what being bullied means, how it feels to be bullied. Okay. Okay. Who else? I have, okay, that's Irene. Yes.
My different opinion is that I would tell my friend that he is always bullying me and he's very mean to me. So I will also beat him with the bigger boy that's my friend and me. We will finish him.
Okay, that's fine. Let's go. Who else is there? Domino, let's hear you. Axel, what would you do? Would you beg for him not to be beaten? Or would you tell them, hey, it's good for you. Every time you are bullying me, come and have a taste of your medicine. What would you do? Grace, what would you do?
I will tell them that they should not beat him again.
But he's always bullying you. He's always bullying you in class, and he's always bullying you.
I will tell them that they should not bully him again.
Okay. You tell them, because even though he bullies you all the time, you will still pity him, right? You will still tell them, okay, don't bully him, have pity on him. Okay, And Domino, let's go. What would you do?
I'm done saying what
Sorry?
I just finished saying it.
Oh, wait, what? I thought it was Grace that answered. Okay, Domino said you beg, you beg on his behalf. Even though he's a big bully, he'll be picking on you, you will still beg for him not to be beaten. You will still beg for him not to have a taste of his medicine. Okay, so Grace, what would you do?
I would, I think I'll try to calm down first, and then I'll tell them that they can still beat him, but not as hard. They should reduce it a bit.
Okay, they should just give him small, just a little taste of his medicine. Well, that's fine. So let's go. I thought I saw Essay here a while ago. Essay, I saw you here. Sorry?
Yeah, I also saw him. I think he...
Can you repeat the question?
Okay, the question says that there is someone in your class who bullies you all the time. The person is always picking on you, always bullying you. Now you meet the person about to be bullied by another person who you have a good relationship with. So this person that is about to bully the person that is always bullying you, the person he will actually listen to you. So if you tell them don't bully him, the person will not bully him. So will you plead on his behalf? Will you tell this your friend that is about to bully the person that is always bullying you? Will you tell them not to bully him, or would you want him to have a taste of his medicine? What would you do?
I'll tell the other person not to bully
A
him.
minute, please, just a minute.
Okay. So we have to...
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry about that. I had to quickly get some things done. Okay, fantastic. Okay, now the thing is, if the person keeps bullying you, right, it's possible that they don't understand what bullying means. They don't understand what bullying means. So if you say, okay, you will let them be bullied too, I will say, okay, they want to have a taste of their medicine so that when they are bullied, they'll be able to understand better what bullying does. If that's your answer, that's the reason is okay. If you also say, oh, we need to learn to forgive, maybe if I beg on his behalf and he doesn't get to be bullied, next time he will want to appreciate me and he will not bully me again, he will not bully any other person again. That is also a good reason to beg for him. However, what you want to do again, this is the second question you are going to ask to your parents. Remember the first question, right? I said you are going to ask your parents. Now, this is the second question. So you want to write it down so that you do not forget. You want to write them down so that...
I want to write them down. Can you please repeat the first question?
The first question is, you are very hungry. Okay, I have the first question here. I'll just screenshot it and send. I'll send in the group. Now, the second question is, I don't have it readily here. So I will...
What is the question? You are very hungry.
Okay, the second question is, if... Okay, you still want to write the first question? Okay, if you are very hungry, and you are very hungry at school, and you have no way to get food in the next 3 hours, and then you find money on the ground. You pick up the money, you're actually going to buy something with it. Then the owner of the money comes forward to say the money belongs to them. What would you do? Give the money to them, or...
Excuse me, you're saying it too fast. Now we broke a bit of it.
I'm trying to pose the question in the group. If I can pose the question in the group, then I don't have to say
it out.
I don't have to read it out. I'll just post it here. Okay, I'll share the first question. I'll share the first question. You can pick it up from the group. Now, the second question is, if there is someone in your class who bullies you all the time, the person is always picking on you because you are bigger than them. You are not offending them. You stay in your space, you mind your business, yet they come to pick on you all of the time. Now you are going. Have you written that?
No, I'm not written.
There is someone in your class who bullies you all the time. In your class who bullies you? Have you written that?
Yes.
Who bullies you all the time?
Yes.
One day, as you are walking about, you find you are running errands. One day, you meet the person about to be bullied by your friend or by let's say your big cousin. Your big cousin is about to beat the person up. Not necessarily bullying. Your big cousin is about to beat the person up. Your big cousin is about to beat up the person. You know, if you beg for him, your cousin will stop. If you don't, your cousin will beat him up very well.
Beat him up.
Yes, your cousin will beat him up. And if you tell your cousin that the boy has been bullying you in class, your cousin will beat him much more. Your cousin will beat him blue-black.
What did you say? To beat him up?
Yes, your cousin.
Blue-black.
If you beg for him, your cousin will not beat him. If you don't beg for him, your cousin will beat him. So what are you going to do? Are you going to beg for him or let your big cousin beat him? Or allow your big cousin beat him?
Beat him up blue-black. I can't write fast. To beat him up blue-black.
Okay, your cousin will beat him up blue-black. Leave that, just leave that. Just get the question, something that will help you remember the question, then you ask your parents after the class. Okay, I want to believe everybody has written that now, right?
Yes.
Okay, don't worry, I'm going to share a lot of these questions with you. Maybe all through this holiday, I'll share one question with you. All through this summer class, excuse me, I'll share one question with you that will test your morality. You answer the question. You also have the question discussed with your parents. So the day I forget to share the question, you come to the class, the 9 to 12 class, and you remind me to share the question for today. Tell me to share the conversation starter question for today so that you can share with your parents and also share with your friends. You can sit down with your friends and share the questions with them. You hear what they think and you all share your opinions about the question. Is that clear? Is that okay? Remind me. Make sure you remind me after the class. Fantastic. So let's go. So yesterday, firstly, we had a book where we're supposed to read 10 pages. Who read our book, The Gifted Hands? Who read The Gifted Hands yesterday? 10 pages. Okay, I have Grace. Well done. 10 pages. I have Noel and Pearl. Well done. 10 pages. Okay, who else? Did you read 10 pages of The Gifted Hands?
I only read 9 pages.
You did. Iroluwan already.
Yes.
You read. Fantastic.
Yes.
Well done. Zoe, did you read 10 pages of The Gifted Hands? Dominio is smiling because he did not read it. Dominio, you are smiling. You did not read it. Did you?
I only read 9 pages yesterday, but today I didn't read because I went Today was my closing day, so I couldn't have time to read. I came back late.
Okay, okay, I get it. Well done. You read yesterday. Well done. So, what time did you read it? What time did you read it? Grace, what time did you read it?
I read it in the evening.
In the evening, okay. Did you plan your day, plan it into reading it, or you just read it randomly? Just read it anytime you felt like?
I had planned it.
That was what we said. You need to always plan. When you plan your days, things are a lot easier for you. You plan your days, you write your to-do list. Okay, let's go. You also had a task yesterday to track your habits. Yesterday, we talked about self-leadership, how to lead yourself. So let's get started. What did we say self-leadership means
Excuse
again?
me.
Yes, please.
Excuse me, we forgot so quickly. So we did it at 3, but we couldn't finish it.
Okay, fine.
we
You
did.
know why I'm not talking so much about it now? Because we are doing the review next week, Friday. On Friday, when we meet here, we'll spend the first 20-25 minutes to review it. By next week, Friday, you would have read 70 pages. Remember, that was what we agreed on. By next week, Friday, you would have read 70 pages. When you are reading, you are going to take note of what is happening. You are going to take note of his challenges, his behaviors, the decisions, his mom's, everything. You are going to take note of everything. And you are also going to learn new grammars, new vocabularies, and how they are used in the book. It's a very beautiful book. So you are going to pay attention to that. Now, you will commit to reading 10 pages a day. Because if you don't read 10 pages a day, by the following day, you will have 20 pages to read. And it may be overwhelming for you. You will not be able to pay attention to details. You will not be able to actually learn, because the book is for you to learn. So you are going to read only 10 pages a day. Don't finish it in one day. You have 1 month to read up the book. So we have divided 1 month, 30 days, by the number of pages in the book, which is about 270. So you are going to read about 20 pages, 10 pages a day. By the end of the week, you would have read 70 pages. Is that clear?
Yes.
As you are reading, you have your journal for your book reading. Every single time you read, you write your lessons. What happened to him? Was he bullied? Why was he bullied? How did he respond to the bullying? You write it down. What did his mom say to him?
Wrote some new words.
Sorry?
Wrote some new words. Wrote some new words.
Yes, that is it too. You also write new words you learned. Now, the new words you learned you are writing, you are also going to look for their meanings. You are not going to write the new words, just the new words. You are going to look for what they mean. So you are going to use your dictionary to look for what they mean. I know we can use dictionary here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Yes, so you are going to look for what they mean, so that you will understand them, you will add them to your vocabulary. As you are learning from the book is empowering you, you are also developing your vocabulary bank. Is that clear?
Yes,
please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So yesterday we talked about habits. I gave you another task, habit. Some people have shared theirs this evening, but they didn't share it on time. So I'm not able to look at it before the class. So I'll need you to share your task before the class so that we can look at it together and talk about it in the class, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So did you create who did not create? I have a couple of them here. We have about how many here? I have 1. I have my journal. Okay. I have Azel's work. That's 2. I have Adela's work. That's 3. I have just 3 here. And we are more than 3. So why didn't you create your habit tracker? We talked about it yesterday, creating your habit tracker. Sorry?
I created it and I shared it on the group.
Okay, thank you. You created your spell. Yes, I can see yours. The rest of you, why did you not create your habit tracker?
I created it, but I didn't send it to you.
Okay. You created it, you didn't send it to the group. Okay, fine. Who else did not create, or who else created that didn't send? Zoe, did you create your habit tracker? Zoe. Zoe, I can't hear you. Unmute yourself. Grace, did you? I didn't see yours here. Did you?
I printed mine.
Still trying to.
Oh, you printed yours. Fantastic. That is it. It will be easier for you to use when you print it. Amazing. Tell your parents thank you very much for printing it for you. So you know what to do with it, right?
Yes.
We said self-leadership is you being able to take charge of yourself. Sorry?
Excuse me. We forgot to make it, and we can't print it because you don't even know how to use it. No, I know how to use it. It's just that for my dad's printer is very expensive. It's 25,000.
Okay, you can actually use your own, take an exercise book or take a cardboard paper to create it yourself. You don't have to use printer to print it. You can use an exercise book to create your own or use a cardboard paper.
We forgot.
Okay, don't forget after the class because it's very important. We said you are going to sit back and look at the areas you are not taking charge of yourself. The areas you are not taking charge of yourself. So you are going to look at those areas and write them down and tell yourself you want to be taking charge of yourself. Those areas, you are going to look at them, and every day when you take charge of yourself, you tick it. Today, I took charge of myself. You are happy about it. Today, my mom, my dad did not remind me to make the bed when I woke up. Nobody reminded me to make the bed when I woke up in the morning. That shows you are taking charge of yourself. So at the end of the day, you sit back and look at all of it. You want to ask yourself, today, did I take charge of myself? If you take charge of yourself, then you are a self-leader. If you do not take charge of yourself, you are not a self-leader. If you are not a self-leader, you cannot lead other people because you cannot even lead yourself. So you cannot lead other people. So if you're not a self-leader, you have people always bossing you, yelling at you, nagging, or even smacking you because you are not taking charge of yourself. It is why you need to create yourself, your habits. The areas you are not taking charge of your life, you need to create them and be able to take charge of them so that they will guide you every single day. That was what we said, right?
Yes, please.
I want everybody to do it.
Please.
If you don't do it, and you will do it today, if you cannot print it, you are going to write it out. You don't have to write what I have there. We have 26 items on my own. You don't have to write 26 items. So what you want to write, you sit down. I said, ask your mom, ask your dad, ask the adults around you. What areas am I not taking charge of myself? What areas am I not taking charge of myself? Zoe, did you do it?
Yes, but I don't know how to use it.
Where is Zoe? I can see you. Go on.
I was not in class yesterday, so I don't know how to use it, but I printed it.
You did not watch the replay. The video is on YouTube. You didn't watch the videos there. If you go to the YouTube, you will not find it, but there's a link that is sent to you because it is unlisted on YouTube, so everybody will not find it. So there's a link that is sent to you. You click on the link, it will take you to the video, you watch it. Okay, let me quickly tell you how to use it. You've printed it. So those 26 items you've printed, there may not be areas you are not taking charge of yourself. Those are some of the areas that you may not, or you are already taking charge of yourself. So I said, if your parents keep telling you, or in school, you keep falling short in some of those areas, for example, you wake up in the morning, you are not taking charge of yourself, it simply means that you are not a self-leader. A self-leader is able to take charge of themselves. And when you are able to take charge of yourselves, you show responsibility towards yourself, then you can be trusted. How many of you have asked your parents for something, they will say no? You tell your parents, I want to do something, they will say no. Maybe you say, I want to cook, or I want to do this particular thing, they will say no, right? Okay, Zoe, yes. What have you asked your parents that they say no?
If I want to do something that involves, for example, if I need to do it with paper, to say no.
Okay. So, Ire, what is it you ask your parents that you want to do, they say no?
My mom planned this spa for us on Thursday, but unfortunately, my sister hurt her hand on Sunday, so we couldn't go. So I thought, but because before I thought that my mom was still alive, but she said no.
Okay.
And then I talked to her again and said another one, that's how we can do it. But she just said, I am selfish. So I just
okay, Ire, let me explain to you what I mean. Like Zoe said, if she wants to use paper, her mom will say no, they will not allow her to use paper. Who else? When you want to do something, there is something you want to do, your parents will say no, they will not allow you to do that thing. I know everybody here, there are things you want to do. I shared a story yesterday of someone wanted to.
I also have one. Whenever my sister whenever I want to watch television on her laptop, she always say no.
Okay. Okay, now let me tell you something.
From laptop.
Many times you want to do something and your parents say no. It is actually because one of the reasons is some of them are not appropriate for you. Like watching television, for example, she may feel there are some more important things you do. You should not always entertain yourself with television all the time. Another reason is they don't trust you to be able to handle that thing. They don't trust you. You say, oh, mom, I can cook, let me cook. Or I want to do something, they'll say no. They will not let you do it. It is because they do not trust you enough to be able to deliver on that thing. Why don't they trust you? Because you have not shown self-leadership. You have not proven to them that, hey, you can actually do this. So they don't trust you because you have not proven to them through self-leadership. So one way for your parents, for example, you want to go to your friend's house. You want to go to your friend's house. Your parents will say no. Okay, Domino, let's hear you. Dominion, let's hear you.
Like when I want, my mother will say no.
When you want to do what?
When I just say Dominion, I can't hear you.
When I want to.
When you want to cook, yes, your mom will say no. Okay, so let's hear Pearl and Noel.
My mom allows me to cook. Anytime I say I want to go to my friend's house, she tells me no.
You want to go to your friend's house, your mom will tell you no. Okay, who else? Zoe said whenever she wants to cut paper, her parents will say no. Now the thing is, you have not been able to show self-leadership for them to trust you. You want to go to your friend's house, your parents are wondering, if you go there, what is going to happen there? Will you behave? Will you inconvenience them? If, God forbid, something bad is happening, will you be able to defend yourself? These are some of the reasons your parents will tell you no. You want to cut paper, your parents will tell you no, because you've not been able to prove to them that you are a self-leader, you can take charge of yourself. The same thing happens to Domino. Domino says when he wants to cook, the parents will say no, because you have not proven to your parents that, hey, you are a self-leader. I can lead myself. I can take charge of myself. Your mom is afraid that Domino, will he be able to, will he not, what if there's a fire outbreak? Will he not make a mistake and everywhere there'll be fire outbreak? Your mom is scared. Your mom is scared that Domino, will he handle the pot well? What if the water spill on his body? Your mom has fears that are valid. And the reason is you have not proven yourself that, Mom, I am in charge of myself. I am a self-leader. I can do things. Don't worry. Don't be afraid. I can handle it all. You know, when you begin to prove yourself that you can handle it all, your parents are going to allow you more freedom. That is the advantage of being a self-leader. When you are a self-leader, you have freedom. Your parents will give you a lot of freedom. You will do, like I told you yesterday, leaders don't take instructions. Leaders, people don't necessarily give them instructions. They are the ones that give out instructions. People give them advice. People ask them for favor. People politely tell them to do things for them. They give them advice. They give them suggestions. But you don't see people commanding them like they do. Live here. Don't do this. Don't do that. No. Why? Because they are self-leaders. Because they know the right thing to do at the right time and when to do it. They know when, how, why. They know the right thing to do at the right time. It was why yesterday we said you are going to look at your habits with the habit tracker. I know by now. Okay, Zoe, someone is requesting to enter. Okay. Zoe, we're talking about you were talking about yesterday about sorry, a while ago you said you don't know how to use the habit tracker. Was that what you said? Is she still here? Is she still here with us?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go. You
Yes,
are going
ma'am.
to sit back and identify all the areas you are not taking leadership in your life. Who was here yesterday? The person can explain to Zoe. Let me see who got everything we talked about yesterday correctly. Who got it? Domino. Domino, you have your hands up. Domino, you have your hands up. You want to explain to Zoe?
No.
Okay, who wants to explain to Zoe?
No.
Grace, you want to explain to Zoe? How to use the habit tracker?
Ma, I can really. Yes, ma.
Plug it.
Ma.
Let's go. Who wants to explain to Zoe?
Yes, ma.
Sorry? Okay. Okay, Grace, let's hear you.
I said yes.
Okay, Grace, go on.
We use the app helps us how to learn to become more self-led. This habit tracker, when you see the habit tracker, you see different kinds of rules, like laying your bed and other kind of rules. Those are things that Ma put for us to show an example for what we should be doing.
Zoe, do you hear her?
We are supposed to. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, is it clear now? Grace, are you done?
So we are
I want to explain.
So, okay, let's go on. Let's hear you quickly. Just quickly explain to us how to use it.
So to use the habit tracker, you use it. You use it because it will know if you're self-led or not. So it will have all the things you have to do in the morning and in the evening, and that you have to do every day. And you will see if you are being very self-led or not. How many? And to use it, when you do something, you take it. And if everything is 6, that means you're well self-led. And if not, and if you have little that is 6, that means you're not yet self-led.
Fantastic.
Do you understand,
Thank
Grace?
you.
I mean, do you understand, Zoe?
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Grace. You did beautifully well.
Thank
So
you.
I'm super proud of you. It means you understood yesterday. Or Zoe, did you get it? Should we explain a bit? Should I add to what they have said? Okay. Did you print it?
No, I understand. Thank you.
Fantastic. Welcome, darling. So you are going to look at it. All
Yes.
the things you do every day, and especially the areas your parents complain about. They have to remind you, or they have to remind you. If they keep reminding you, it shows that you are not self-led, you're not a self-leader. If people always have to tell you what to do, they have to tell you what to do all of the time. So it means you are not a self-leader. Remember, a leader is the one in charge. A leader is the one in charge of people, charge of things. A leader guides. So as a self-leader, you are now in charge of yourself. You are taking ownership of your life. That is who a self-leader is. I don't understand. I don't know that. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of things here. So a leader is someone in charge, right? So as a self-leader, you are in charge of yourself. Your parents don't always have to tell you what to do. When they have to tell you what to do all the time, it simply means you are not a self-leader. When your teacher in school always has to tell you what to do, it simply means you are not a self-leader. If you go out, for example, people always have to tell you what to do. It simply means that you are not a self-leader. Now let's look at it. Grace, oh, look at me. Please, you are clicking on something. Stop clicking on it, please. I don't know. I just got a notification that I may not be speaking English. So I hope that, because this video is being recorded for those that are not in class. So if I'm not speaking English now, it simply means that, I don't know the language is going to come out in. So please stop clicking on things randomly. Stop clicking on things randomly. Okay, let's go. I was saying that if you are always being told what to do, that shows you are not a self-leader. You are not a self-leader. Now, before we go on, let's look at the advantages of being a self-leader. What are the advantages of being a self-leader? Now, before we talk about the advantages of being a self-leader, I want us to read a quick story. We all can read, right? Grace can read, Zoe can read, Essay, you just joined us. Essay can read, Azel can read, and of course, Ire and Domino can read. Ire and Ore can read. So let's go. I'll share a quick story now, and we all read it quickly. Okay, the first person should read for us. You read the first paragraph. Zoe, read the first paragraph quickly. Zoe, read the first paragraph quickly.
I can't see the story.
You can't see the screen?
I can't see the story.
Okay, so I'll read
I
it.
can
I'll
see
read
the
it for
screen,
you
but
then.
it's not showing me the story.
It's not showing you the screen. Can anybody else see my screen?
We can see.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Grace, can
Yes,
you see it? Esther, can you see my screen?
Yes, ma.
Okay, Zoe,
Yes,
can you see
ma.
it now?
Yes.
Okay, let me read the first paragraph. Alex was a 13-year-old who had a lot going on for him. He was creative, loved drawing, and enjoyed telling stories. But lately, things weren't going so well. His grades were slipping, chores at home were piling up, and his friends seemed to be taking advantage of him. At school, he was often pushed around, and at home, his parents were constantly reminding him to get things done. Alex felt overwhelmed and started to believe he wasn't good enough. Who read the second paragraph for us? Zoe, read the second paragraph, please. One evening. Go on. One evening, after a particularly rough day.
One evening of failing an exam and getting an earful from his parents about his chores, Alex decided that he had enough. He was tired of feeling like he was constantly being controlled by his circumstances and the people around him. He knew he needed to make a change.
I'm actually in class. Can I come back? Come and take me, please.
Bye.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Okay, go on. Okay, I think network.
I'm done.
All right, thank you. Who is reading the third paragraph? Alex started by taking a hard look. Sorry, who is reading the third paragraph? Okay, go on, read, let's hear you. Go on. Ire, read it.
Alex started by taking a hard look at his homework. He realized he wasn't managing his time well and was often cramming in at the last minute. Determined to turn things around, he created a study schedule, breaking down his assignments into smaller, manageable tasks. He set aside specific times each day for homework and asked his teachers for help when he needed it. Slowly but surely, his grades began to improve. Alex was seeing results, and it felt good. Thank you.
Thank you, Ire. So who is reading the next one?
Sorry.
Who is me?
Me, please.
Grace. Grace, read the next one. At home, Alex took ownership of his chores. Read that, please. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, I think your network is. Okay, let's go. At home, Alex took ownership of his chores. He made a list of what he needed to do to be done and set a routine to tackle each task. No more waiting for his parents to remind him. He took the initiative. His parents noticed the change and were relieved. The constant nagging stopped, and there was a new sense of harmony in the home. Who is reading the next one? Essay. Let's hear. You haven't read.
I want to read.
You read and already one of you have read. So Essay, please read. Alex started to stand up for himself with his friends.
Alex started to stand up for himself with his friends.
Okay, who is reading that now? Who is reading
His
that?
friends. They had often relieved on him to do the heavy lifting in their group work and pushed him around when they needed something. Alex began to set clear boundaries and express his feelings. He told them he was happy to help, but he needed them to pull their weight too. Alex started to take charge of his own interactions. His friends began to respect him more. They no longer took him for granted and even sought his advice when making decisions. The real turning points came when Alex.
No, that's enough. Ire, Dominion. Dominion, please. The real turning point.
No, it's already read.
Both of you, Ore and Ire, both of you have read, right?
I need.
Yes, please.
Okay, let someone else read, please. And Dominion, please read. You've not read. Okay, who read? Essay. Essay, you haven't read.
Came when
Me, please.
Who is me? Is it
the
Dominion?
real turning point came when I want to read.
Please, I want to read.
Read Dominion. Read Dominion.
The real turning point came when Alex's teacher noticed his efforts. He saw how he had improved his grades and managed his responsibility. He offered him a leadership role in a school project, a chance to showcase his skills and dedication. Alex.
Alex earned his respect. Thank you so much. So let me read up the remaining one so that we can go on to have our conversation. We don't spend too much time reading. Through it all, Alex learned an important lesson. By taking ownership of his responsibilities and making positive changes, he was able to transform his life. He found that self-leadership wasn't about controlling others, but about managing himself effectively. It was about setting goals, staying committed, and standing up for himself. Alex's journey showed him that by taking charge of his own life, he could overcome challenges and build a more positive and respectful environment for himself. He realized that he was capable of achieving great things and that self-ownership was the key to unlocking his full potential. I love Alex's story a great deal. Who else loves Alex's story a great deal? So what you want to do is after the class, we sit down and go back and read Alex's story. Do you understand? After the class, you are going to go back and read Alex's story. So now let's go. Alex. Thank you. Alex was creative. Alex loved to draw. Alex enjoyed telling his stories. Maybe he was thinking of making comic, you know. He would tell his stories, he would draw them, he would represent them in characters. Maybe he even had big dreams of becoming a cartoonist. Alex was creative, loved drawing, could tell story. So if you love drawing and you could tell story, you can just be a cartoonist. You can just be able to illustrate your beautiful stories and all of that. But Alex, things were not going well. His grades were slipping. His chores at home, parents were always complaining. And his friends were always pushing him about, taking advantage of him. Why was that so? Now let's look at it. What happened? What changed Alex? How did Alex become the person he wanted to be? One evening, after a particularly rough day of failing an exam and getting an earful from his parents, that means his parents were talking, they were angry, they were nagging, maybe they were even yelling or even threatening to smack him about his chore because he wasn't doing his chore very well. Alex decided that he had had enough. It simply means that Alex had it in him. Alex could actually lead himself, but Alex wasn't doing it. Did you see that? Because nobody told Alex to lead himself. Alex could lead himself, but Alex wasn't leading himself. Alex had it in him, but he wasn't doing it. Axel, stop drawing. You are blocking my screen.
Excuse me, somebody is putting things on the screen.
Axel, you are putting things on the screen. I'll remove you if you don't remove those things.
Axel, please
Axel,
don't do
you are
it. I
obstructing
can't
us,
see.
please. Axel,
please don't do that again.
I need you to remove the things you have on the screen
Axel, remove it.
so that you don't obstruct us.
Draw the person's. Someone's putting things in the screen.
Excuse me, ma, there's a way you can remove
How do I
it.
remove it? I'm trying to remove it.
Wait,
Can you
let me
remove it
try.
from there? Okay, please, if you can't remove it, I'm trying to remove it. I'm not able to remove it. Okay, so I was saying that it simply means that Alex had self-leadership in him. Alex could lead himself. Alex had beautiful potentials. Just like Alex, I know that all of you, you have it in you. You can. You can.
Yeah.
You don't see your parents complain about those areas you are not leading yourself. You can actually lead yourself in those areas because you have the potentials, because you have your brain to put into use. You have it in you. You can do amazing things. You have possibility, loads of possibility in you. You have the ability, loads of ability in you. You can do it all. But the thing is, you are not applying yourself. Are you paying attention? The issue is you are not applying yourself.
Yes.
You can do it, but you are not doing it. You are not applying yourself. It is why it seems you cannot do it. You can. Sorry, excuse me. Alex had it in him. Alex did not have to wait for anybody. His parents were always nagging, telling him. And in school, he wasn't doing well in school. That is exactly what happens. If you do not apply yourself at home, if you do not apply yourself, maybe at home, you don't apply yourself enough. In school, you are likely not going to apply yourself enough in school too. Because it's all connected. If you are lackadaisical towards your home activities, your chores, your responsibility at home, or self-leadership at home, there is every likelihood that in school, you are also going to be lackadaisical towards your studies. Except you are really, really gifted naturally. You realize that in school, your grades are not going to be as much as you want. Your grades are not going to be excellent, except that person is naturally gifted. Your grades are not going to be excellent because you are not applying yourself enough. So if your parents are always complaining about you at home, you are not doing your chores well and all of that, there's every likelihood that even in school, you are not applying yourself enough. And guess what? Like Alex, and like I said, you have the ability, you have the potential, you have the capacity. You can lead yourself. You can lead yourself. Do you think you can lead yourself?
Excuse me, I have a question. No,
Go
I have
on.
something to say.
Go on, let's hear you.
Fingers, yeah, I can't see.
Sorry?
My question is that when you've explained how to be selfless, so what if you get over selfless and then you not boss people around? Then you find yourself doing it. What can you do to stop that?
A self-leader, you do not boss people around as a self-leader. No, you will not boss people around. Because you are leading yourself, you can easily lead yourself. It simply means that people will trust you more with responsibilities. Your teachers will trust you more with responsibilities. Your parents will trust you more with responsibilities. We are going to look at the advantages. You are going to enjoy the advantages of self-leadership, because self-leadership comes with freedom. Let me give you an example. For example, you have your daily chores, your daily routine, what you need to do. You know that, okay, you need to do this and this. Maybe your parents have told you that this summer holiday, you are not going to watch TV until you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you take a bath, maybe you prepare your breakfast, maybe you do a little thing, maybe you go for lesson, you have a skill. Essay is writing a book. You write 20 pages of your book today. You do a few things before you watch television. That's what your parents have put down as your rule. Before you watch television or before you play. Now, when you do those things, what will happen? You will have the freedom to watch television or to play, right? But when you don't do that thing, what will happen? Your parents will come, they may be upset and tell you, now, you are not going to watch TV. They take the TV away from you. They can even say, tomorrow, you're not going to watch TV because you did not lead yourself. That is self-leadership. Self-leadership will not make you to become bossy to people. It will make you be able, you will understand yourself.
Okay.
You first of all understand the things, the areas you are not leading yourself. That is, you are being self-aware. You look at, these are the areas I am not leading myself. You are self-aware. Now, because you have it in you, you are going to tap into your strengths, bring it out, and begin to lead yourself because you have it in you. When you begin to lead yourself, you are going to have enough freedom, and you are going to earn the trust of people around you. Your parents will trust you, your teachers will trust you, your aunties, your grandparents, everyone will trust you. Why? Because you can lead yourself. That is self-leadership. It doesn't make you bossy. If you are bossy, you are lording it over people. Now, you are not, it simply means that you cannot control it. You cannot control yourself. That doesn't even make you a self-leader. A self-leader is always able to take charge of themselves. So if anything that is like, if you have the desire to lord it over people, to be bossy to people, as a self-leader, you are able to pause and take control of that and tell, no, I am in charge of myself. You are not in charge of me. I am not bossing people, so I'm not going to boss people. Domino, you had your hand up. Ore, is that okay?
Excuse me.
Yes, please.
No, I want to ask one more question. What if you can't help it, but just be bossy? What do you do to stop it?
Why can't you help it? I asked you a question yesterday. Are you bossy to your mom? Are you bossy to your dad? Are you bossy to your teachers?
No.
So it means you can help it. If you are not bossy to people, the adults around you, it simply means you can help it. You are only bossy to people who are younger than you or who are smaller than you. So what you want to do is to begin to look at people more respectfully, to ask yourself, if someone bosses me around, I will not like it. So treat them like the way you want to be treated. It is called the golden rule. You treat people. So if you are not going to be bossy to your parents, to the adults around you, you cannot be bossy to them. It simply means that for that person that is smaller than you, you can also treat that person without being bossy towards that person. So if you are bossy to that person, it simply means that you are not taking it from you. Remember, it is already in you. You have the ability to lead yourself. You can't lead yourself if you choose to lead. You can lead yourself. Nobody told Alex what to do. Alex woke up in the morning and said, nah, I've had enough. How can I be failing my grades? And the teacher in my class will be laughing at me. Everybody will just be laughing at me. They want to look at someone. They want to give the wooden spoon out. It's me they are giving the wooden spoon to. No, I do not want it. And then I came back. I get back home. My parents are talking all the time. I'm not doing the right thing. How? I'm so tired. I cannot do this anymore. You know, Alex sat back and looked at himself because he already had it in him. So he looked at himself and he brought it out. So the same thing happens to you. You are capable of not bossing the people around you, but rather guiding them gently. You are capable of gentle guidance, guiding the people around you gently. All you need to do is to reach your inner strength and bring it out. Did you hear me already? So if you're not bossing your parents, you're not bossing your teachers, you're not bossing the adults around you, it simply means that you can also not boss other people around you. So you only need to apply the same thing you do when you are talking to your parents. What do you do when you want to? Sometimes your mom is doing something that she's not doing it right. I know it better. You want to correct her. How do you correct her? What do you do? The same way you want to also treat that your
politely.
The same way you also want to tell your younger one or the younger children around you politely, because you already have it in you. Domino, you had your hand up. Can you ask your question now? Domino?
Yes.
You raised your hand up at some point. Sorry?
Please, what's adastic?
What is what?
You mean lackadaistic?
Okay, yes.
Adastic.
Lackadaistic.
No, you mean lackadaistic.
When you are not applying yourself enough, when you just do things lazily, you do things like you don't care, you are not applying yourself enough. You are not pushing yourself, you know, you just do things, you don't care, you are not thinking, you are not doing things thoughtfully. You are lackadaistic. You don't do things thoughtfully, you don't apply yourself enough, you just do things as if it doesn't matter or anything. You know, you do things and your parents will still come and remind you every single time. Your teacher will come and remind you. I know that some of you, at the beginning of the term, you set your grade, you set your goal. You say, this term, I'm going to have A's in all my exams. Do you set your goals?
Yes, I do.
I do.
Okay, now when you set your goals, Ebube just joined us. Ebube, why are you just joining us? We'll soon finish. We'll soon wrap up the class. Ebube, how are you?
That's very late.
Okay, now if at the beginning of the term, you set your goals for your exam, right? You know what you are going to do to pass your exam, to get your goal, to achieve your goals, don't you? You say your goals, you want to have A's in all your exam. At the beginning of the term, you say, I want to have A's in all my exam. And you know exactly what you want to do to make A's in all your exams. Maybe you need to read your books. You need to always read. You need to ask questions in class. You need to research further. Some of the things you need to do. You need to write, okay, when you finish reading, you will summarize it. You know a few things you need to do so that you can pass, have that A's in your exam. You know that already. But when it's time to do that, you will not do it. That is you being lackadaistic. When it's time to read, you'll be distracted. You will not put in enough effort. That is you being lackadaistic. So let's go. Let's talk. Let's go on with Alex. So now let's look at the advantages of being a self-leader, of leading yourself. What are the advantages of leading yourself? Ebube, you just joined us. Good evening, Ebube. How are you? Ebube's network is not making him flow with us. Ebube, I hope network allows you.
Excuse me, whoever put this green thing should remove it.
I'm not able to remove it. Anyone that can remove it should remove it. Okay, let's go. Just leave it. Leave it.
I think I can.
So let's go.
It's only the boy that remove it. I tried, but I was not able.
Okay, thank you for the attempt. Okay, let's go. So let's look at what happened to let's look at what Alex did. After Alex got back, every time the parents will always nag and complain. Every time the teachers will fail in his exam. What did Alex do? The first thing we said was Alex sat back and Alex looked at himself. Alex told himself that I can. Alex knew that he had it in him. So Alex had to tap into his inner strength. He had to tell himself, I can now. I can lead myself. I can be in charge of myself. I can apply myself more. All I need to do is to apply myself more. I can be in charge of myself, really. I can have better grades, really. All I need to do is to apply myself more. That was what Alex told himself. And so what did Alex do? Let's look at what Alex did that changed everything for Alex. So we already, sorry, what was the thing? Who can tell us the first thing Alex did? Yes, please. Ire, what did Alex do? Sorry?
Alex believed in himself that he could do it.
That was the first thing Alex did. Yes, Alex actually believed that. He looked at himself and he said, no, he has had enough. He actually wants to. He has had enough of the parents nagging. He has had enough of failing his exam. Then Alex realized that the first thing he was doing was he wasn't managing his time well. Instead of him to read his book, Alex could not read his book. When it's time for exam, Alex would just cram everything in his head. And when it's exam, Alex may forget. Even when he remembers and they tell him, explain, Alex will not be able to explain because Alex had not read to understand. Alex had only read because he wanted to pass exam. He just memorized everything. That was the first thing Alex did. We saw it here. Alex decided to manage his time very well. Sorry? So that is what you want to do.
I was at this. He made a goal.
That's another thing. So let's talk about
Alex made a goal.
Alex decided to manage his time very well. That is why you have your planner. Yesterday, I gave you your planner. So today, I'm going to give you this. I don't remember if I gave you yesterday already.
See. Yes, you giving us yesterday.
So did you have this? Did I give you this yesterday? Your money planner. Sorry?
No.
So you are going to tell your mom or your dad to print this for you. It's just one sheet. You can see it, my day planner. That was the very first thing Alex did. Alex was going to plan his day. Okay. Alex, the first thing Alex did was going to plan his day. I am going to plan my day. I am going to be more responsible. You know, I'm going to plan my day. But before Alex planned his day, Alex, first of all, set his goals. He sat down and told himself that, in school, I don't have good grades. At home, my parents are always nagging. It simply means that I am not in charge of myself. I am not taking charge of myself. It is when my parents are always nagging. I am not having good grades. I know I have it. I am an A student. I can have an A. It is possible for me to have an A. I am an A student. Do you know that you are an A? Do you believe that you are an A student? Hello? Grace, Dominion, Pearl, Noel, Ebube.
Yes.
Do you know that you are an A student? Do you know that if you apply yourself more, you have better grades than you have?
Yes.
Do you know that if you apply yourself more, your parents will not have to come and always tell you what to do, or they will not even have to nag or complain about you? Do you know that? Because you have it in you. I can tell you that you have it in you. I know that you have it in you. Because God created you. You have it in you. And God created you in his own image and likeness. It means God created you to think like him. So it simply means that you have it in you. The only thing is you are not applying yourself enough. To apply yourself means you are not pushing yourself enough. You are not doing the things you are supposed to do to help you get those things you want to get. That is the thing. If you begin to push yourself enough, if you begin to apply yourself enough, you will realize that your parents will stop nagging. Your grades will be better. Even your skills, anything you want to do, you are going to get better at it. Even if anybody tells you, oh, see, like Essay is writing a story, and somebody says, Essay, your story is not good at all. Nah. Because Essay understands herself. Essay leads herself. Essay will know that, nah, this is my story. I know for a fact that it is good. It may not appeal to you. It may appeal to someone else. So even if someone makes or someone wants you to doubt yourself, because you can lead yourself, you will believe in yourself. Because you can lead yourself, you know exactly what you are doing. And you keep at it. So now the very first thing Alex did was to set his goals. He told himself, no, I've had enough. The school, I've fallen short of my grades. I've had enough. My parents are always complaining. I've had enough. It's time for me to take charge of myself. It's time for me to lead myself. That was the very first thing Alex told himself. And that is the very first thing you want to tell yourself. Right? So after telling himself that he can lead himself, he sat down and set his goals. Okay, what grades do I want to have next term? He looked at his grade and said, next term, I want to have all A's. Next term, I want to have all B's, or I want to have all A's. That was the next thing Alex told himself. And then Alex asked himself, how can I have all A's next term? And he told himself, to have all A's, I'll have to read. Then Alex also told himself, what are my parents complaining about? Why do my parents always complain about chores? Because I actually don't do my chores. It is why my parents are complaining. Or because I don't do my chores properly, it's why my parents are complaining. What am I going to do? I am going to do my chores properly. So Alex sat down and told himself, okay, what I want to do now is I want to plan my day so that I can do my job properly. I can study. I can do the things I want to do. Because Alex loves to play. There is always a reason why you are not pushing yourself, a reason why you are not applying yourself. And the reason is always because you want to play, you want to watch television, right? Right? Sometimes you are reading, you want to feel like playing.
Yes.
You feel like you are reading, no. The next thing, you see your brother play, or you just feel like playing. Or your parents have asked you to do your chore, you know your chore. Now, instead of you to go straight to do your chore, you just see play. And the next thing is you want to play, or you want to watch television, or you just want to lie about or something. Alex sat down, Alex realized, now these are the reasons why I am not getting what I want to get. These are the reasons why these are the reasons why I do the things I do, and my parents are complaining. Reasons I do what I do, I'm not getting the grades I want to get. So what did Alex do? Alex decided that, okay, from now on, I am going to study my books, I am going to do my chores, and I am still going to have enough time to play and watch television. That is what you two want to do. You want to now have time to play. You are going to play as much as you want to play. You are going to watch television as much as you want to watch television. But you are going to have time to study your books. And you are going to have time also to do your chores. So that when your parents come back, your chores are completely done. And they are well done. So they are not going to have to start yelling at you, start nagging, or start complaining like Alex's parents. No. They are going to say, oh, Dominion is watching television. Dominion, have you done the dishes? Yes, mom. Have you swept your room? Yes, mom. Have you studied? Yes, mom. I studied. I solved a math question. I went to algebra and math. I answered 20 questions. And mom says, whoa, that's wonderful. Did you have any struggle when you were studying? Did you encounter any struggle when you were solving your questions? You say, yes, I encountered a struggle, but what I did, I just went to my teacher and asked for I went to my cousin and asked for explanation. Or better still, I went to my class, my downloaded videos on how to solve it. I got there and I got how to solve it, and I was able to solve it. What do you think? Your parents are going to be super proud because you are taking charge of yourself. And at the end of the day, they are not going to tell you, no, don't watch television. They are not going to tell you, no, don't play. Because you have done everything you are supposed to do. You have taken charge of yourself. So nobody is going to stop you from doing anything you want to do. So you cannot have enough time for television. You cannot have enough time for play. Are you following me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
please.
Yes, ma'am.
And his
Yes,
time.
ma'am.
Yes, please. So you are going to plan your time like Alex. So here's what you are going to do. Now remember, to get better grades, you are going to create time to study. Then to do your chores very well, excuse me, you are going to create time for your chores. What you want to do is everything you have to do at home, write them down. Everything you have to do at home, write them down. Write it down. That is your task. Now write it down. Ire and Ore, write them down. Ire and Ore, are you twins?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Beautiful twins. Write them down. Take your writing material, your paper with you. All the things you do a day, all the things you have to do a day, write them down.
Right.
Sorry?
But that's the only chore we have.
All the things you have to do a day, write them down.
Okay,
Plus reading your book, write them down. Plus prayer, waking up in the morning to pray, write them down. Every single thing you do for the day, write them down.
I make my bed.
Write it down. You wash dishes, write it down. You assist
The things that we did today.
You have dinner. Every single thing you do, not just your chores, every single thing you do for the day, every single thing you do, write them down.
Scriptures.
Did you hear that? Every single thing you do for a day, every single thing you do in a day, write them down. That is, don't write them now. Don't start writing them now. Just write the
I heard it.
everything you do in a day, write them down. So after writing them down, you are either going to create my daily planner, or you ask your mom or your dad to print it for you. Can you see it? My daily planner. Have you written it down? All the things you do in a day, have you written it down?
I've already printed my own.
Fantastic. Ebube.
No.
Write it down now. Write it down.
I've
All
already
the things I do
printed
in
my
a day. Write it down. All the things I do in a day. Write it down. Grace has printed hers. Good. So when you write it down, now here is what you are going to do with it. You are going to work with your mom or your dad or your nanny or anyone that is at home, any adult at home that is taking care of you. You are going to work with them. You tell them that you want to take charge of yourself more. You want to be able to apply yourself more like Alex did. When Alex did that, Alex got better results. Alex became a leader. Even the school, they noticed that Alex has changed, because when you begin to apply yourself, you are definitely going to change. Everybody around you, they are going to notice that you are applying yourself more. They are going to notice you. Something about you is just going to show forth, because your grades will be better. At home, nobody will force you or make you do the things you don't want to do. Rather, your friends will not make you do the things you don't want to do. Your confidence will just grow. Your confidence will just grow, and you'll be able to stand up for yourself more. And your parents will be super happy. They are going to trust you more with responsibilities, trust you more with freedom. Yes, self-leadership comes with freedom. So your parents will say, oh, mom, can I take your phone? Your mom will actually let you take her phone, because she knows that you are able to lead yourself. You are not going to see inappropriate comments, inappropriate content. You are not going to do that, because you can actually lead yourself. So they will trust you more because you can lead yourself. So let's go on. So it's like everybody is hanging. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
mom.
But you're cracking a little.
Sorry?
You're cracking a little.
Sorry about that. It's as if you're all frozen. Pearl, you are frozen. Why are you frozen? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Why not? I don't.
Ebube, you are frozen. Can you hear me? Dominion, you are frozen. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Or are you the one giving me the frozen pose so that I will think you are frozen? So now, after writing all of this, remember you want to start with your goals. Your goals. You want to start with your goals. So after that, you are going to write all of this. So what you do, you are going to work with your mom, your dad, or any adult that is in charge of you at home. You are going to tell them that you want to take charge of your life. So you want to plan your every single day so that you can make every single time you have count. So the first thing you want to do is, okay, what time do we wake up in the morning? What time do we pray? You look at it very well. Every single thing you do in a day, the time you ask them, what time do we wake up? What time do we pray? They will tell you, okay, wake up 6 o'clock. We'll pray for 30 minutes. You see the column for 6 o'clock? You write what you do there. You see the column for 7 o'clock? Whatever you do there, then you write it there. See the column for 8 o'clock? If you do more than one thing, you write it there. I do more than one. I do like how many things? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe in the morning between 6 o'clock to 6:30, I go to the restroom, I pee, I brush my teeth, I make my bed, I say my prayers, I check at my goals and commit them to God. I write my prayer on my prayer wall. I have a prayer wall. I write my prayer on my prayer wall, and then maybe I write my character focus for the day, like I shared yesterday. You will write them here. These are the things you do 6 to 6:30. You write them here. Then you go to 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. You write everything down. So your chores, you look for a specific time that you do your chores. What time will I do my chores? I will do my chores between, you ask your nanny, you ask your mom, okay, mom, is it okay for me to do the dishes in the evening or in the morning? Can I do the dishes in the evening? Can I do the dishes in the morning? Can I do the dishes once a day? Or can I do the dishes? How many times? Two times, 3 times, or 4 times? Because I want to take charge. I don't want anybody reminding me again. If your mom says, okay, do the dishes every time we eat, immediately after meal, you do the dishes. You say, okay, meal, we have breakfast by 8 o'clock. So after 8 o'clock, which means we have breakfast by 8 o'clock to 8:30. It simply means by 8:30 to 9 o'clock, I am doing the dishes. I will take the dishes, clean up the table, wash them thoroughly, put them where they are supposed to put them, or put them and dry them up and put them in the baskets or in the shelf. Are you following me?
Yes, ma'am.
So you are going to do this and share in the group. You are doing this and you are sharing in the group tomorrow. So you are going to take today to do it and share in the group.
Yes, ma'am.
So you are going to do that. So you are going to look at all the time.
Am I going to share in the group?
This particular thing is just one page. You can either print it and fill it up, or you can create it with your hand. It's easy to create. You just need to you can just create 3 rows and about 4 columns, and you get it sorted. Then you fill it with what you are doing. Your activities, you fill it in. Remember, you set a goal to scale up your academics, so do better, which means you are going to create time for study. So that time you are creating for study, what are you going to do? What time are you going to study every day? Do you have gifted hands you are reading? You are going to create a particular time for gifted hands. What time do I want to create for gifted hands? Let me create 7:30 to 8 o'clock for gifted hands. What time do I need to create for my school book? Let me create 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock for my school book revision. What time do I have to create for my chore, to sweep or to cook? You create the time for that. What time do I have to create? After creating time for the very important things, do you understand? For your chores and your daily activities.
Yes.
After creating time for all of them, now the next thing you want to do is to look at the time you do not have anything you are doing. You look at the time you don't have anything you are doing. Now, the time you don't have anything you are doing, you put play there, you put television there. You also create time for self-meditation, self-reflection. Just 30 minutes a day where you sit down and reflect and fill your journal. Remember, we talked about journaling yesterday. You are expected to fill your journal every day. So that can be in the evening. That is why we have morning routine here. These are the things you do in the morning. You fill them here according to the time you do them. Okay, we have a hand raised. Pearl, you have your hand raised. Can we hear you? This for afternoon. Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
This for afternoon. Then you have the things you do in the afternoon. You have it here till 10, 11 p.m. Let's go, Pearl. Let's hear you.
Excuse me. Before Pearl answers, I don't sleep at 11.
Hold on, please.
Pearl, can I please hold on? I want to say something.
Please hold on. Pearl is
Okay.
already speaking. Pearl, let's hear you.
No, I'm alright.
All right, please hold on. Pearl, what did you say?
Journal, so we share it in the group.
Yes. Write your journal, the things you are doing for the day. Every single thing you do in a day, write the journal out. You feel it. If you know that your days are not consistent, maybe there are days you wake up at 7 o'clock, there are days you wake up 5 o'clock. The day that you have a change in your daily plan, you create another journal for it. The day you have a change, you create it. You put time. It is called time blocking. All right, let's hear you quickly. Our time is almost gone. Let's hear you quickly.
Okay, my question is that I don't what I want to say is that I don't sleep at 11 o'clock.
No, it doesn't
10.
matter. So when you sleep is when you are going to stop at. You don't have to sleep 11 o'clock. Sorry? Even your mom can
I
use
don't
this.
sleep at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. I sleep at 9.
That is good. You will stop at 9 o'clock. You will stop at 9 o'clock. You can even tell your mom to recreate another one for you. If she's going to print it, she can recreate another one for you. The one that begins at 6 o'clock, where when you wake up and 9 o'clock when you sleep, she can recreate another one for you. You don't have to go with this. If you are going to create it with your hand, you can just remove from 6 upward and take the 10 downward where you are already in bed. You can take that away. It doesn't matter. What matters is it captures every single time, every single day. Now, let me tell you what you are going to do. It captures your activities rather. Now, let me tell you what you are going to do. When you have these times written out, you have your time for reading, you have your time for chores, you have your time for bathing, you have that time written out. You are first of all going to understand that the time for reading, you are not going to put it in your time for television. No, you have your time for television. So you are going to make sure that your time for reading does not clash with your time for television, so that you are not tempted to leave your book and go and watch television. So you are going to put your time for reading in a particular time. In fact, you can put them in the morning. Tell yourself, I am not going to near the TV until I am done with my morning chores or my morning routine. You will put, okay, 5 o'clock to 6 to 6:30. I wake up, make my bed, say my prayers, brush my teeth and all of that. Then 6:30 to 7 o'clock, I exercise, drink a glass of water and that. Then you say 7 o'clock to 7:30, I go and do my chore. Maybe I do the dishes, I tidy the kitchen, I sweep the floor and all of that. Then you say 7:30 to 8 o'clock, I assist in the kitchen and I make sure the food is prepared. I set the dining table. Then you say from 8 o'clock to 8:30, I take my bath and I have my breakfast. Then 8:30 to 9 o'clock, you can have, okay, at this time, I want to read my book, The Gifted Hands, my 10 pages of The Gifted Hands today. I want to read it. Then after reading that, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I want to revise my math questions that I was given. I want to check my past questions, my exam, my JSS1 exam or my grade 5 exam. I want to see some of the questions I did not get correctly, the script I was given. I want to read them and know them. Then that's what I'm going to do. Then I'll do that from 9 to 11 o'clock. That's 2 hours. After 11 o'clock, I'm going to stretch out, take a bottle of a glass of water, take snacks. After that, I am going to play. I'm going to watch television. I am going to do any other thing. Or I am going to write my storybook. Essay has a story she's writing. I am going to write 20 pages of my storybook. So I'm going to write that 20 pages of my storybook from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. After 1 o'clock, I'll have my lunch. After my lunch, I can go and play, watch television, do anything, all the things I want to do. I finish playing, watch my television and do all of that. Then 5 o'clock, I assist in the kitchen. I assist in the kitchen. After that, any other thing, do you understand? Maybe I'll listen to news. My mom is listening to news. I'll join her to listen to news and all of that. Then you are going to write every single thing at the time you do them. You are going to write them in your daily planner. So that way, when someone tells, when you have written your time for reading from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, someone tells you, Zoe, let's go and watch television. You are going to tell the person, no, my time for reading is 9 to 10. I'm not watching TV now. I watch TV from 1 o'clock till 5 o'clock is when I'm free to watch TV, is when I'm free to play. So come back by that time. I will play with you. Are you paying attention? That is self-leadership. You are able to manage yourself. You set your daily goals, because your daily goals are not just there for you to set. For example, you are reading The Gifted Hands, because you know that at the end of the month, you have to review. Your goal for reading The Gifted Hands is towards reviewing The Gifted Hands, right? You keep that in mind. Then you also have your goal, your academic goal, to revise your work, is your school work or your book, is towards having better grades in school. So your goals are not just there for fancy. They are there to help you actually become a better you. So once you have them written down every single day, you are not allowing anybody or anything to distract you. So even if your siblings are watching television, you being a self-leader simply means you are able to say, no, I'm not watching television because this time is a time for me to read my book, or this time is a time for me to to write my story, or to practice my coding, or to learn more about my crafts. This is the time I have. That is how you are going to become a self-leader, by deliberately every day planning your day and making sure you are sticking, you are consistent. Do you understand? So who has questions to ask?
Yes, ma'am.
I have one. I have a question. What if you don't do chores?
Probably that they go out.
Okay, two people are
What
asking
if you
questions at
don't
the
do
same
chores
time.
and
Noel,
then
you're
your
asking, or you are asking. Let me hear you. All right, let me hear you,
what
please.
if you have no chores?
You
What
have no
if you have
choice.
no chores?
Okay, you have no chores to do, then you have other things you are doing. You have your book. You cannot just spend the entire day you are playing. No, you have no chores. You can decide to, okay, create something for yourself. Look at your room. Are your clothes well folded? Today, I'm going to fold my clothes very well. Today, I'm going to arrange my bookshelf very well. Today, I'm going to put my shoes where they are meant to be. I'm going to clean my shoes. Today, I am going to, let's say, I'm going to declutter, check around, see what today I'm going to sort out my clothes. The ones that are no longer my size, I'm going to give them out. Today, I am going to read. Okay, I'm going to read 10 pages of The Gifted Hands. I will not stop at reading it. I'm going to maybe write a story with it, or see how I can make a presentation. I'm going to pretend to be teaching it to someone else. If you don't have chores to do, you create something to keep yourself engaged for a period of time. That is self-leadership. You can tell yourself, okay, between the time of 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., I want to just lead myself, put myself into use, put that time into use. 30 minutes, 1 hour. When I do that, after that, I am now going to play or do any other thing I want to do. Even if you don't have a specific chore, you can volunteer to help out around the house. You can volunteer to help out around the house. You can take initiative. Self-leaders take initiative. You go around the house, you see something that is not where it's supposed to be, you can decide to, okay, let me do this.
Please stop that.
Let me spend the next 30 minutes actually doing things. You go to your living room, you saw that it's dirty, there's something, you can say, okay, let me clean it, let me sweep this up, let me do this. That's what self-leaders do. They don't wait to be told. You go to the kitchen, you realize, okay, there are dishes not washed. Okay, let me offer to wash these dishes, because I'm a self-leader. Leaders solve problems. Leaders look for problems, leaders seek solutions. They find problems and they solve them. So because I'm a self-leader, let me go around the house and see one thing I can put in place that is not in place, I can put in place. So you can say, okay, the room is scattered, let me arrange the room, let me arrange the bed, let me arrange the shoes, let me even help my dad tidy his room, let me help my mom tidy their corner, let me just do things around the house. I have pets, let me go and feed the pets, let me go and check on the pets. I have flowers, let me go and water them. You just pick up things. Self-leaders take initiative because leaders are problem solvers. So self-leaders, they are always waiting, eager and ready to solve problems. So even if you don't have chores, you can find out things around the house you can help with. You don't have chores, but you can help around the house. So you just create time for yourself. Okay, I'm going to take 30 minutes today. Excuse me, please. I'm going to take 30 minutes today to find out what I can help with around the house. Just 30 minutes. I'm going to go find out what I can help with around the house. Do you understand, Ire? Noel, you had a question. Let's hear you.
My question is that what happens if the person has that type of parent that they don't like the person doing chores? The person is, they don't like the person doing chores.
Excuse me, no,
They
why
don't
you?
like that person. They don't like you doing chores. They don't like you doing chores, and they don't like you in the kitchen because of they have a maid already,
You're
and they don't buy
glitching.
you food.
Okay. Now, if you have a parent that they don't like you doing chores, like I said, you can always help around the house. If you don't have chores assigned to you, you can always help. Even if your parents don't like you washing dishes, maybe because they have a maid or because they don't trust you enough not to break all the glasses, all the plates in the kitchen, because you have not shown self-leadership. So they don't trust that you will not go to the kitchen and break all the dishes in the kitchen. So they don't trust you. So even if you have that kind of a parent that don't trust you, so what you can do is you can dedicate time, 30 minutes. You tell yourself that, you tell your parents that this 30 minutes, I want to use it to solve problems around the house. So 30 minutes a day, I want to find out what I can do. So you just send, 30 minutes, you see something on the floor. Maybe you go to your parents' room, you see clothes on the floor. You can pick the clothes, put them where they are meant to be. You go to your room, your shoes are not well arranged. You arrange your shoe. You go to your brother's room or your sister's room. You see the room a bit messy. You can fix it. You go to your kitchen. You see maybe water is spilled on the floor. You clean it. You see your dining table, something is there that is not meant to be there. You clean it up. You just find things you can do. Just 30 minutes a day. So provide solution to help your family. So even if you don't have chores, you can take 30 minutes a day to help your family, to problem solve. Do you understand?
Yes,
So you have to
please.
factor the 30 minutes into your time you have for the day, into your time. This is the time I have for the day. Okay, 11 to from 8:30 to 9 o'clock, I really don't have anything I'm doing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go around the house looking for a problem to solve. I'm going to go around the house looking for a problem to solve. When I say problem, it doesn't have to be something big. It's not electrical. Don't touch electrical connections. That is not a problem you should solve. Problem simply means you just look for things that are not where they are supposed to be. You just put them. Maybe you go to the bathroom, the tap is running, you turn it off. You enter the house, the lights are all running, nobody's using the light. You switch them off. You come, you see your picture frame is all dusty. You take the duster, you dust your picture frame. Those are problems you are solving. You see that the toilet is all dirty. You take the brush, you flush it, you wash it. Those are problems you can solve. You go to the kitchen, you see that water is spilled. You clean it up, you mop it up. You go to the room, you see things are not where they are supposed to be. You just tidy it up. You go outside within your premises. You see that the compound is littered. Maybe someone ate something and put it there carelessly. You pick it up. It's not meant to be there. Those are problems you are solving. So you take a time of the day to solve problems. You're not waiting for someone to tell you. It's self-leadership. Not waiting for someone to tell you. It's self-leadership. You just see things happening, you just fix them. That is you being a self-leader.
Oh, now thank you, ma, for telling me.
All right, you're welcome. Any other person with a question?
Yes.
Okay, go on quickly. We are wrapping up now. If you have questions, we'll just take one more question because the teenagers class is coming on by 6:20. Now it's already 6:10.
Okay. So what if the self-leadership person isn't doing its job? It's just being lazy.
What if what?
What if the self-leadership was lazy and his
That means the person is not a self-leader. A self-leader is not lazy. A self-leader applies themselves. A self-leader deliberately pushes themselves to achieve their goals. They take initiative. They push themselves to achieve their goals. They have goals. It is why their goal, like Alex's goal, was to make his parents to stop nagging. Alex's second goal was to stop having bad grades, was have better grades. Those were Alex's goals. So what did he do? He led himself. That is what self-leaders do. Self-leaders, they lead themselves. They don't wait to be told what to do. So if you are being lazy, you are not a self-leader yet. You are not applying yourself. Because applying yourself simply means that you are pushing yourself. You are doing the things that you need to do towards achieving your goals. So your task today is to write out this. All the things you are going to do in a day. Excuse me. All the things you are doing in a day. Look at it here. Your task today is to create this list. Create time. Block every time. Create time for everything you need to do. Remember, you have goals you want to achieve. The activities that will help you achieve your goals. Create time for each of the activity. And also create time to problem, to help out with problem. Leaders solve problems. Helping out with problems will help you. Helping out with problems around the house will help you build your self-leadership skills. So what you want to do is to create time to say, okay, between 12 o'clock to 12:30 every day, I am going to go around the house and look for problems to solve. I'm going to go around the house and look for problems to solve. Even when you are in school too, you are in school, it's during break time, you just tell yourself, okay, I'm going to take 5 minutes from my break to look for problems to solve. 5 minutes from my break to look for problems to solve. So you look around the school, anything not properly done, you can offer to do it, or you go and tell your teacher, the person in charge, your admin, your administrator in the school, you can go and tell Miss Rose, this tap is broken. You notice it because you cannot do it, you do it. You can offer anything you can do, you can offer to do it. Miss Rose, I noticed that this thing is not doing well, and I have an idea. I can suggest an idea on how it's being done. You suggest, Miss Rose, I noticed that this the toilet for the girls and for the boys, they just use any toilet. Can we put a sign there that shows boys toilet, boys only, girls only? You look around for problems that need solving. You take 5 minutes of your break, even when you are in school, take 5 minutes of your break to look around for problems that need solving. So if you are being lazy, you are not applying yourself, you are not a self-leader. So everybody say, I am a self-leader. And I am going to apply myself from now on. I am a self-leader. I am going to apply myself from now on.
I am a self-leader and I'm always going to.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. So we are going to see you again on Saturday, right?
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye. 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 Bye.